and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then thank you so much for clicking on this video and giving my video a chance. I really hope you hit that subscribe button and also turn on that bell so you're notified every single time that I post. Also, don't forget to check out my social media and also check out my Patreon as well. You get some crazy little perks and that link will be in the description box down below. So today I am doing a bit of a different video. I normally do true crime videos and try to stick to just doing true crime videos, but at the moment I'm doing a really big case, and also it's a crazy time of the year for me at the moment, and that's why I'm doing this video. So it is Dominic's first birthday next week. My child will be 1 and I still don't know how to process that. It's crazy that he is 1 year old. I literally remember the day he was born like it was yesterday, like 24 hours ago. That's how I remember it, and it's so crazy to think that he's been on this planet a year. And the one way that I describe it is it's gone so quickly, but I remember every single second as if the seconds were going slowly. Like, I remember everything that he's done, I remember all the details, and it's not something that I'll ever forget. So today I'm going to be doing a 1 year update. Now, I wasn't on YouTube when I was pregnant or when I had my son. I only started YouTube when he was about 6 months old, so I've not done no updates. If I had children in the future, I probably would turn my channel into that sort of channel whilst still doing the true crime. But I have gained a few followers here on YouTube and also on my Instagram, so a lot of people ask me a lot of questions about Dominic and tend to want to know how he's doing, so that's why I thought this would be the perfect video. Now, Dominic was born on the 25th of May 2018 last year, so next week he'll be 1 year old. He was £6.3 when he was born, and I can't remember his head circumference. I know I've got it somewhere. I've literally saved everything from his birth. I still have the clothes that I wore and everything, which they've been washed, but I still have that pair of pyjamas because I'm like, I give birth to my boy in them. So yeah, so he was £6.3 when he was born. He didn't lose any weight, and this surprised the midwives because a lot of children will lose weight and then gain weight again in their first around 7 days of being on this lovely planet, and my Dominic didn't. He just was really good with his weight and putting weight on. I think he'd gone up a couple of grams in that first 7 days, which shocked the midwives. But yeah, he was a really good eater. I bottle fed him, I didn't breastfeed, and that was personally my opinion, and I do go over why I didn't breastfeed him in my labour and delivery story, which I will link down below, because some of the things that I talk about in here I may have already covered in more detail, so I may just have to watch that as well. But yeah, so when Dominic was born, he was a really good eater. Now, he wasn't a good sleeper at all. I think the first 2 weeks were really good, and then from then till he was about 3 months old, he was so bad at sleeping, and it wasn't a case of waking up for feeds, it was just being awake screaming constantly. So that first 3 months was really hard, and I'd been diagnosed with postnatal depression, which I'm glad to say I'm getting better with now. I'm not ashamed to say that I have postnatal depression, but he was really bad at sleeping and it was a struggle. But when he was around 3 months old, he actually got into a routine, which I can say that's not every child will do that. He totally did that off his own back, and he's still in the same routine to this day. We have tried to make it earlier, but he doesn't want it to be earlier because he's quite stubborn and likes his routine as it is. But that is something I want to bring in the future, because I feel that he's going to bed a little too late. Any other mums out there, please let me know. I feel like 9 o'clock is too late because he sleeps from 9 o'clock till around 8 AM, so he's sleeping near enough 12 hours, every night, unless he's poorly. If he's poorly, he will be up during the night. So yeah, his sleeping was really bad at first, but from 3 months onwards he was really good. So Dominic, when babies are born, babies obviously can't hold their own head, and Dominic was really quick with learning how to hold his own head. He used to lie on my chest, belly down, and he would lift his head up like that to look at me from a really young age. I'd say very few weeks old, so maybe 2 or 3 weeks old. Yes, it was literally a split second, but that made me so proud. With the physical side of things, he hasn't been too great. He's developing where he should be, but he's not developing as quickly as other children, but that's not really an issue. Children will always go at their own paces. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what textbooks say. But mentally, he has been amazing. His intelligence is crazy. He can say mama, he can say dada, he can say nana, he says no. He tells me no. He shakes his head and says no. He says wow, and he goes oh, like when he's seen something that fascinates him, he just looks at it and goes oh, like that, which is just crazy. So yeah, he says like probably like 3 or 4 words, which for a nearly 12-month-old is just amazing, because it's usually around this time that they may just say the first word. So I reckon my child's like super smart, and he just did all the kind of mind stuff really quickly. So like a hand-eye coordination with picking things up and using like his little pincer grab thing, he was really good with that. He's really great, but with the physical side of things he hasn't been too great. He doesn't crawl. He finds other ways to get around, but crawling something he's not been able to do yet. He didn't sit up until he was probably about 9 months old. That was when he first sat up unaided, and I know a lot of babies can do that around 6 months old maybe. I don't know, every baby's different. But Dominic didn't do this until he was at least 9 months old, and that was sitting unaided. And then in the past maybe 4 weeks is when he's managed to start to move around a little bit. He's finding his way around. He will get up on his knees against the sofa, and he'll also stand up if you're holding him, but they're a little concerned at the minute because he's not having a great time standing up. He's just really wobbly, and we're like hoping that with help of the health visitor and some other things in place we'll get him walking as soon as possible, and hopefully he will catch up on that a little bit. But he's going at his own pace. I'm happy. It doesn't make me upset. He's doing what he wants to do and when he wants to do it. So on to the next thing, teeth. Now Dominic started teething when he was literally probably, I know it's going to sound drastic, but he was probably like 6 weeks old. He was teething really early, and it was horrible to see him doing that, and I think that played to why he was just screaming all the time. So we introduced teething toys really quite early, and we did this all under professional advice. We didn't go against the professionals, but he cut the first 2 teeth that he cut were the bottom 2, and I think he was probably around 5 months old, I want to say, when he cut them. And then within weeks, it was really quickly, he cut the top 2 and had 2 at the top, and now he's just cut his fangs. He's got fangs now, so he has got 6 teeth in total, and I can't see any more at the moment. So he's got 6 teeth. It looks crazy because he looks like an actual like toddler, like adult. It's so strange seeing them with teeth. Honestly, when you're a child of your own, you'll realise how strange it is to see them go from having no teeth to having teeth. It is literally crazy. So Dominic's weight, as I was saying at the beginning, he was a really good eater. He has since been a really good eater. We weaned him off food early, around 5 months old, and it isn't recommended to take them off their food when they're under 6 months old, so please don't just go ahead and do that. Always consult a doctor first. But at around 5 months old, Dominic just stopped drinking his milk and we ended up in the hospital. And it wasn't because he was allergic or anything like that, it was simply because he had had enough of milk. So we introduced baby rice and things like that, and because he was more satisfied from the food, he was then again having his milk as well. Like, weirdly, I don't know how that works out, but that's what happened. So we started to wean him around 5 months old, and then around 6 months old, that's when we started to introduce 3 meals a day. So now he has porridge in the morning as well as a bottle, and he'll have his lunch and he'll have his tea as well, and he'll have a bottle at night time. He loves the baby jars, but he loves our food more. We always try to make him things like chicken and Sunday dinners, and I can't even tell you the foods we make off the top of my head. I haven't got anything like that wrote down because I don't make a script. But if there's any mummies out there who know some good meals for children and quick and easy prep times as well, please let me know in the comments down below, because we don't want to be feeding him jars anymore, simply because jars are limited nutrients and also limited to what they're tasting and their intake and things like that. So we want to introduce more to him, more vegetables, more fruits, you know, more of everything, more of a varied diet than what the jars are giving. So we need some meal ideas. So if you have any meal ideas, let me know down below. So yeah, I recently got Dominic weighed, and I think it was around 21 pounds, and I'm sure 24 pounds is 2 stone, so he is quite heavy, and carrying him around is a little bit of a pain, but hopefully he'll be walking soon, so he'll take that pressure off his mummy's arm. And the last thing I want to say about Dominic is he has the best temperament. Now, I've had friends who have had babies, and I'm not going to say they've got nightmare children, because that is not the case, but their babies would like have paddies and, you know, just be children. Like, I'm not trying to slate their parenting or nothing, because it's nothing to do with them. All children go through a phase where they are just children and they paddy and they act up. Now, Dominic's only just started to do it, so maybe my time's coming now and I'm going to jinx myself. But he has been such a pleasant baby. There is very rarely anything that Dominic will moan about. The only time he ever moans is if he's hurt himself, or if he physically can't do something that he wants to do. So if he's trying to get from one side of the living room to another, or he's trying to climb up to get onto me, then he'll get frustrated and cry, and then I have to help him. But there's nothing that makes him unhappy, and there's never really been anything that makes him unhappy. He's had quite a few trips to the hospital and things like that have never bothered him. Every time he walks into the doctors or the dentist, he's smiling. He isn't fazed by it at all. He's such a pleasant child, and I feel like I've been truly blessed, and I feel like the second time that I go through this, I might not be as blessed, and I'm probably going to have a terrible child, but I'd still love him anyway. But you know what I'm saying. So I just, he is truly, truly amazing, and everybody who's said it, and everybody who's met him has said how much of a pleasant little boy he is, and it's just crazy. Now, I can feel myself like getting emotional, so I'm gonna like stop before I end up crying, because this video, I actually hope Dominic could see it one day and see the videos on screen of him and pictures, and when he's 16 years old, and look back and think my mum thought this about me when I was a year old. She remembered everything when I was a year old. Like, I want him to know that. So I hope to show him this video one day, and if you are watching 16-year-old Dominic, just remember that your mummy and daddy, mum and dad, love you so much, and your big brother loves you, and we just adore every single bone in your body, and we have done since the minute you came into the world. Since 10:15 on the 25th of May, we have loved you, and even in the 9 months before that, in planning for you to be here, you are amazing, and I hope that you continue to be amazing into your adult life. And I hope that me and your dad do a brilliant job of raising you, and you turn into a right gentleman, which I'm sure you will have done. And I just want you to know that I love you so much. So if you're watching this, please don't cringe at your mum 10 years ago on video getting emotional. But yeah, we love you, Dominic. So that is all for today's video. That is my 1 year update. It's a little bit jumbled because there is a lot to it, but people who've been here a while know that I am just a confusing mess. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you would like me to do more mummy type of videos and updates on Dominic, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always open to suggestions. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, check out my Patreon, and I shall see you later on this week for my next true crime video. Bye.